Okay, well, you know we're going to do this on YouTube, right? So if you guys will do a lot of applause, it'll save me having to download it. Alright, save a little for Mitt. Now I know what you're thinking. You're wondering, what's an agnostic political centrist doing here in Georgetown, Texas? Do they even allow people like that out here? Yeah. Sometimes it seems that way, doesn't it? It seems like everybody here's a Bible-toting right-winger to the right of Ronald Reagan. Yeah. But we're not all like that, you know. Some of us are a little more forward-thinking. You know, we didn't all think that George W. Bush hung the moon. We didn't all go to Pastor Rick Perry's praying at the big stadium up there in Dallas, you know, the political tent revival that he had called The Response. Some of us actually believe that, well, you know, when a politician, especially some politician like Rick Perry, wears his religion on his sleeves, I think he's not very sincere. I think he's just kind of hot dogging, you know. Well, anyway, I have Mitt Romney here. Ask him a few questions. And you know, before I get started, I just want to say I remember the 2010 election. I remember how everybody was so angry. That was, you know, we had the big bailout. The auto industry had tanked. The banks had gone under. The real estate bubble had broken, and the government, you know, all these corporations that come to the government with their hand out, and the government, you know, just throwing it out there, billions of dollars at a time, and well, then after that, then after the government bailed out all these corporations and all these banks, then the CEOs of all these failed banks and corporations, they decided that they'd done such a good job, they paid themselves a big bonus, and everybody was angry, you know. Sarah Palin was stuttering and sputtering. That's not it, of course. You know, Michelle Bachmann, she was ranting and raving. John Boehner, he was crying. I was crying. But anyway, you know, I was angry. There's a lot of things to be angry about because, well, you know one thing I'm angry about? I'm angry because we have 50 million uninsured people in America. 50 million people without access to adequate health care, and that's a disgrace. That's a national disgrace. And well, frankly, the Republican Party has steadfastly refused to do anything about it, has resisted any effort to do anything about it. And I have Governor Romney here to ask him a few questions about that. So, Mitt, you know, about this Massachusetts health plan, what do you tell people? You know, you run on a platform that you're going to, this is your promise, you're going to repeal Obamacare, but isn't that the same plan that you did? It's different? It's different? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it was a good idea when you did it, right? The uninsured people, it's about 5% in Massachusetts compared to, what, 25% in Texas? You know, one person in Florida didn't have adequate health care in this state, but we couldn't benefit from something like that. No, I will not shut up. This is my open mic. Well, shake my nose here. So, this mandated health insurance thing, it was a good idea when you were the governor? Yeah, okay, yeah. That was it a good idea when the Republicans proposed it back in the 90s when Clinton was trying to do that? So when did it become a bad idea? Oh, when Obama did. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. No, I will not shut up. Sorry, you got to quit telling me that. But if you don't want to talk about it, that's okay. We can go on to something else here. I want to ask you about those tax returns, Mitt. How come you won't share them with us? How come you won't show us what you got there? Your father did as much, you know. He showed his tax returns when he ran. I mean, it sounds to me like maybe you got something to hide. I don't know. No, I'm sorry. We people will not do that to ourselves. No, that's just plain rude, okay? Besides, I think we get enough of that from you people as it is. You know, you're starting to sound like Dick Cheney. Of course, I realize that Dick Cheney is the heart of the Republican Party, since he doesn't have one. You know, this conversation clearly is going nowhere. I have a little poem, but before I start, I just want to say that this is not about you people and us people, okay? We people, whatever. Because all of us are in this together, and we all pitched in, and we all built this country. We built a country where the elderly people had some measure of financial dignity with Social Security and Medicare. We all pitched in together with tax money. We built an interstate highway system that a lot of businessmen shipped their goods to market on those roads and profited by. We all pitched in and built a space program that's put a lot of satellites in orbit, and what's happened to the communications industry. You know, so we have a lot of stuff. We had rural electrification. You know, where was private enterprise there? You know, they're going to build a power line out to some guy's little farm? I don't think so. You know, government did a lot of things for us, and I think that the time has come where we get past this outmoded dogma where we think it's just government bad, because frankly, you know, the only idea I see from you guys is turning the stuff back over to, well, the insurance companies, the Wall Street people, the banks, you know, in other words, the people who screwed up to begin with, right? Excuse me, Mitt. I don't think that's a very good idea. So my poem is called The Empty Chair. When I see an empty chair, I have to think of Mitt. For any issue that you name, Mitt will stand on either side of it. Immigration, campaign finance, embryonic cells. Ignore what he has said before. Now he a different story tells. And if his thoughts you now dislike, just wait another day. He wants back to the Brady bill. Now he loves the NRA. Grover Norquist, no new tax pledge. He once refused to sign. But with nomination drawing near, suddenly it's fine. On W's tax cuts, he just waffled till he ran against McCain. And of course, he was retired while he was the CEO at Maine. In bygone days and different races, he was ardently pro-choice. But now he's had a change of heart. He is a pro-life voice. The Massachusetts health plan, he once touted it with zeal. Obamacare is much the same, but that plan he'd repeal. Regarding same-sex marriage, he once opposed a ban amendment, but now he toes the party line and steadfastly defends it. He once opposed don't ask, don't tell, but now he thinks it's swell. Clearly, what he advocates is what the party sells. He has no position of his own, no cause to which he will commit. Wealth is his abiding passion, politics his holy writ. He's like a willow in the breeze, a supple man, our Mitt, and he's too busy moving round to ever stop and sit.